And I don't want you guys to do this. I was playing hooky one day. I decided to take a little break away from class. And I was playing hooky, and the principal walked up behind me, and he scared me. And the thing that he noticed about me is that I could run real fast because I was hauling butt. But back in Mississippi, you get whippings. So after I got disciplined, he wanted me to go out for the football team. And I went out there, and I was not the best athlete. You know, you had great athletes out there, but I felt if I worked at it, that maybe I could become a starter. And I did. I became a starter. I started to get recognition. Got letters from the major schools. Decided to go to Mississippi Valley State. But still, I was having success at Valley. But I was still nervous. I was saying, well, you know, maybe I'm not going to make it to the pros. Maybe I'm not going to be like a Drew Pearson, a Lynn Swan, a Tony Hill, so many great receivers. And I always kept that doubt in my head, but then I got drafted. When they called my name, I said, wow, I'm going to San Francisco to play with the San Francisco 49ers, to meet Joe Montana, looking eye to eye, and say, wow, this is the guy that I have watched on television. I get a chance to line up with him. And we went on to win so many Super Bowls. And after that, 20 years of football. I'm not gonna, be here all day, but I decided to do some crazy show called Dancing with the Stars. Now look, I'm not a dancer. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. But I thought it would be cool. I said, okay, all right, look, you want me to learn how to ballroom dance, Latin dances and stuff like that, and also I have to admit, the girls, they were beautiful. So I'm like, hey, I give it a try. But I did not know the commitment behind it. When my partner, when she took me through my first routine, and it was the cha-cha, she took me through that. I looked at her and I said, you want me to do what? Okay, I'm this macho football player. You know what? Okay, now you want me to put on some dancing shoes and go out there and dance. And I remember her, because the first dance was so difficult, I started complaining a little bit, because come on now. Hey, all the accolades that I had achieved on the football field. And then she got offended a little bit and she said, well, Jerry, do you want some milk and cookies? Can you imagine someone telling you that, after you done gone to battle with so many great players and you have played on that big platform, for someone to tell you that? But I decided to dedicate myself to what I was doing, and I did that. So anything in life, you have to dedicate yourself. If you want to be the best, you got to separate. You got to work your butt off. You have to do the little things. I remember in high school, I used to toss a football up at nighttime with the lights off in the bed, just to feel exactly where that ball would be and be able to catch that ball in the dark. A lot of those spectacular catches that you guys see on Sunday, that's something that happens during the week. The way you practice is the way you're gonna play. You can't go out there and not get 100% during the week, then expect to turn it on that given Sunday. It doesn't work like that. You have to prepare yourself just like a machine. And I think that's why I had so much success on the football field. You talk about stats. Imagine 20 years, over 5,000 receptions, over 20,000 yards, around 200 touchdowns. I mean, so many hits. You have to be durable. You have to be a team player. When things don't go right, if you go out there, you work your butt out all week long, and you don't get that many touches during the week or during the ball game, you can't give up. You got to go back the next week and say, well, maybe this is my week. I'm going to work my butt off this week, and if I get the opportunity, I'm going to be ready to take advantage of it. That was my approach. And I think that's why I had to drive to really be successful on the football field. And I want to say to you guys, I wish you guys luck, for your games coming up, for the entire season. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to come here and just share my thoughts with you. This is what I like doing. Yes, professional football was great to me. Yes, I made a lot of money. I did all of that. But for me to be able to come out here and talk to you guys, that's really special to me. So thank you for the time. Good luck. And I'll be watching. And thanks a lot, okay? All right? Yeah, any questions? Any questions? Go for it. What happened on the first Super Bowls for me? You know what happened on the first Super Bowl? I couldn't sleep. I mean, the preparation all week long, and you play this game, you visualize the game. You know exactly what is going to happen. So I was up all night long just pacing around, visualizing what I had to do, against this team. And it happened just like that. The preparation that went into it. I went to the stadium early. All of a sudden I put my uniform on. I always took the first bus to the stadium because I wanted to be ready. I didn't want to be rushed. I put my uniform on, decided to relax on this table for a little bit, and I went to sleep. My teammates walking by, they're looking at me like I'm crazy. I mean, the biggest game, and I'm asleep. But I had prepared myself the right way. Now, what I had to do was just take the football field, and I went out there, and somehow I think I won the most valuable player on that particular day. Okay? Anyone else? Go for it.
What was it like to catch passes from Joe Montana?
I always get asked about Joe Montana and Steve Young. It's not often, as a receiver, you get a chance to catch footballs from two Hall of Famers. Joe Montana, to me, is going to go down as the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. His coolness on the football field, the way he worked, we used to call him Joe Cool. And you knew that this guy would bring his game every time he stepped on that football field. With Steve Young, it was a little bit different because Steve was known as a running quarterback. So it took him a while to adjust to just being back in that pocket. But once he did that, Steve and I, we became that tandem, and we scored more touchdowns. I think we had like 80 touchdowns or something like that. Now you have Marvin Harrison and also Peyton Manning. They have broke that record. I think they have like 100 together. Okay? Go for it.
I got two of them.
Go for it.
What's your favorite route? And what's your favorite?
My favorite route, huh? You know what? This is what I would do for before practice. The routes, we had a tree of routes, and I would always go out early to go through those routes. And I didn't go full bore, but I wanted to get the timing in my head. So when, the game, if it was on the line or something like that, or if a defensive back walks up in front of you and if he gets a big piece of you, like bump and run, I had a clock in my head where I knew I had to come out of my route. My favorite route probably would be the post corner, the comeback, 20 yards down, break it off to the sidelines, and the Dino. Dino was a double move where you go up about 10 yards, you fake to the corner, then you go back to the post. So, but I really worked on all my routes because when I knew that my number got called, I had to beat the guy that was on the opposite side. And at the time, Deion Sanders, Darryl Green, so many great defensive backs. You had to work your butt off to beat these guys because they were so fast. So I had to double, triple move those guys. But those three routes, man, it was just like doing a dance. I could do it with my eyes closed because I had repetition-wise, I had did it for so many times. Go for it.